James Cartwright loved old books. He loved the smell of them, the feel of them, the secrets they held. He was an archaeologist, a hunter of forgotten things.
One day, in a dusty Cairo bookstore, I found a treasure. It was a map, drawn on ancient parchment. The script was faded, the ink cracked. But the moment I saw it, I felt a thrill. This was no ordinary map. It spoke of a place called Eldoria, a lost city deep in the Amazon.
Legends whispered of Eldoria. It was said to be a city of gold, built by a civilization older than time. A city swallowed by the jungle, lost to the world for centuries. James had always been drawn to such tales. He yearned for adventure, for the chance to uncover the past. Holding the map in his hands, James knew he had found his destiny. He would find Eldoria. He would be the one to bring its secrets to light. The map was old, very old. James traced the lines with his fingers, careful not to damage the fragile parchment. It showed a river, winding its way through dense jungle. The river was marked with a name, the Serpent's Spine. At the river's source, nestled amongst mountains, lay Eldoria. The mapmaker had drawn the city with care. Towers reached for the sky, pyramids gleamed in the sun. This was no crude sketch, it was a work of art, a testament to a lost world. But the map held more than just geography. Scattered across its surface were symbols, strange and unknown. James recognized some as ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, but others were unlike anything he had ever seen. They were a puzzle, a code to be cracked, and James was determined to solve it. He knew that these symbols held the key to finding Eldoria. They would guide him through the jungle, past dangers unknown. James knew he couldn't do this alone. He needed a team, the best of the best. He needed people with skill, courage, and a thirst for the unknown.
First, I contacted Dr. Maria Vasquez, a renowned linguist and expert in ancient cultures. Maria was brilliant, resourceful, and fearless. She jumped at the chance to join my expedition.
I couldn't resist the idea of uncovering a lost city. It's every linguist's dream.
Then there was Carter, a seasoned explorer and survivalist. Carter had spent years in the Amazon, navigating its treacherous rivers and dense jungles. He knew the rainforest like the back of his hand. He was their guide, their protector.
I've seen what the Amazon can do to the unprepared, but this sounds like a real adventure.
Finally, there was Eleanor, a skilled photographer and documentarian. Eleanor's passion was to capture the world's beauty, to share its wonders with others. She saw this expedition as a chance to make history, to record something truly extraordinary.
Imagine the stories we'll tell, the images we'll capture. This is going to be incredible.
Together they formed a team ready to face the unknown. The Amazon was a living, breathing entity. It was beautiful, deadly, and utterly unforgiving. The moment their plane landed in the heart of the rainforest, the heat and humidity hit them like a wall. The air was thick with the smell of vegetation, damp earth, and something else. Something ancient and wild. Their journey began on the Serpent's Spine. Their boat, a sturdy river craft, cut through the murky water. The jungle pressed in on either side, a wall of green. Vines dripped from the trees like emerald curtains. The air was alive with the sounds of insects, birds, and unseen creatures.
Days turned into weeks. The river became our world. We faced torrential downpours, navigated treacherous rapids, and camped beneath a sky ablaze with stars. The jungle tested us, pushed us to our limits, but we pressed on, driven by the lure of Eldoria.
The team was determined, their spirits unyielding, as they ventured deeper into the green Inferno. The river was their lifeline, but also a source of danger. Caiman lurked beneath the surface, their eyes gleaming in the dim light. Schools of piranha flashed by, their teeth like razor blades. And at night the air hummed with the whine of mosquitoes, carrying the threat of malaria.
I moved through this world with ease. I taught them how to read the river, how to avoid its perils. Showed them which plants were safe to eat, how to find shelter from the storms. I was their protector, their teacher, their link to this wild and unforgiving land.
One day they encountered a tribe of indigenous people, their faces painted with bright dyes, their bodies adorned with feathers. These were the guardians of the forest, living in harmony with nature. They spoke a language lost to time, but their eyes held a warning. They spoke of a cursed city, a place of danger and despair. As they ventured deeper into the rainforest, a sense of unease settled upon them. It began subtly, with a feeling of being watched. Eyes seemed to follow them from the shadows of the jungle. Strange sounds echoed through the trees, whispers on the wind. Then things took a more sinister turn. Supplies began to go missing. Footprints appeared around their camp at night, footprints that were not their own. Was it just their imaginations, or were they being followed? Were they truly alone in this vast and ancient wilderness?
Ever the scholar, I consulted my books. I had been studying the symbols on the map, trying to decipher their meaning. I discovered that the ancient people who had created Eldoria believed in spirits, both benevolent and malevolent. They believed that the jungle was alive with these entities, some helpful, others not so much.
The whispers in the jungle grew louder, and the sense of being watched became almost unbearable. The team knew they had to stay vigilant, for the jungle held many secrets, and not all of them were friendly. One day they came across a clearing in the jungle. In the center stood a massive stone structure, half hidden by vines and creepers. It was a giant head carved from granite, its features weathered by centuries of rain and sun. It was the head of a jaguar, its eyes staring blankly into the distance. This was no natural formation. This was the work of human hands, a testament to the skill and artistry of the people who had once lived here. But who were they? And what had become of them?
As they approached the jaguar head, Maria noticed something strange. One of its eyes was different. It was made of a different stone, a dark, obsidian-like material, and it seemed to glow.
As Maria reached out to touch it, Carter grabbed her arm. "Don't!" he hissed. "It's a trap!" He pointed to the ground around the jaguar head. It was covered in symbols, the same symbols that were on the map. And in the center of those symbols lay a single footprint, a footprint that was not their own.
The jungle was alive, pulsating with unseen energy. The deeper they went, the stranger things became. Animals behaved oddly, their eyes filled with fear. Plants twisted and turned as if trying to escape some unseen presence. The very air crackled with anticipation. Then, one morning, they emerged from the dense undergrowth into a valley. And there, rising before them, was their destination, Eldoria, the lost city. It was more magnificent than they could have imagined. Towers of gold and jade soared into the sky, their peaks hidden in mist. Pyramids adorned with intricate carvings glinted in the sunlight. Bridges, delicate as spiderwebs, spanned chasms of dizzying depth. But Eldoria was not deserted. As they drew closer, they saw figures moving on the ramparts, figures clad in armor of gold and silver. They saw banners fluttering in the breeze, banners emblazoned with symbols that sent shivers down their spines. Eldoria was not a ruin, it was alive. The ground trembled beneath their feet. The jaguar head, the eye of obsidian, pulsed with an eerie light. The jungle around them fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. Something was coming, something ancient and powerful. The earth split open. From the depths rose a creature of nightmare. Its body was a mass of writhing vines and thorns, its eyes glowing embers in the gloom. It towered over them, its limbs like gnarled branches, its breath a fetid stench of decay. This was the Guardian of Eldoria, protector of its secrets, and it was not pleased to see them.
The creature roared, a sound that shook the very foundations of the jungle. Vines lashed out, seeking to ensnare them. Thorns rained down, sharp as daggers. They were outmatched, outgunned. Their only hope was to flee, to escape the wrath of this ancient evil.
They ran, stumbling through the undergrowth, the creature's roars echoing behind them. They dodged snapping vines, leaped over fallen logs, desperate to escape the Guardian's wrath. But the jungle seemed to conspire against them, the path ahead choked with thorns and tangled vegetation. Just when they thought all hope was lost, they stumbled into a clearing, and there, before them, stood an entrance, a massive archway carved from obsidian, its surface inscribed with glowing runes. This was the gateway to Eldoria, the entrance to the lost city, but it was also a trap. As they hesitated at the threshold, the creature's roar shook the very air. They had a choice: face the Guardian's wrath or step into the unknown. With a shared glance, they made their decision. They took a deep breath and plunged into the darkness, the runes above them flaring as they passed. And the gates of Eldoria slammed shut behind them.